First of all, I want to say thank you guys for tuning into this video. I appreciate all the feedback that I got on the PLO Omaha series, all the way down to the nub. For those of you who gave me feedback, I appreciate it. And in this video, this was at our meetup game at the Venetian in Las Vegas in February. The thing that excites me about the video is when I started editing this, I didn't know what direction I was going to go into. I didn't know if I was just going to go into huge detail, and I haven't done the voiceover on it yet, but it came to me that the best way to do this video is these are the players that are actually going to be on the stream. In this video, you're going to see a player 3-bet me a couple of times. He tends to do that to me specifically a lot. So I play back at him in a few hands. And you'll see what types of hands I'll play back at him with. And also, I got moved to a table because we were at the meetup game. And we were 5-handed at this table, and 4 of the 5 players are going to be on the stream. And we probably had 3 full orbits where almost every hand was 3 and 4 bet. So maybe it was 2 full orbits. So these were very aggressive hands with high variance. You're buying in for $2,000, but you're calling in some cases like a $180 pre-flop raise or $150 pre-flop raise. So the part that excites me by watching these videos is that these are the players that are going to be on the stream, and we're going to be 7-handed. So the player that 3-bets me in tanked, he's going to be on there. He's not afraid to splash around. Chris is in there. He's not afraid to splash around. He's a high stakes recreational player. Jonathan isn't afraid to splash around. He's a high stakes, serious recreational player. I say serious because I think he takes it. I think he tries to do it semi-professionally. Very good player, though, very respectable, but doesn't mind splashing it around. His strongest game is obviously Big O. But it's going to be really interesting because these guys don't mind getting in. And then Don's like a retired professor, an 80-year-old, and he grinds a lot. He plays a lot. And he's not afraid to splash around either. And so you'll see me play him a little differently based on all their different styles. And it's this is only a couple of hands, but I think it's like 6 hands that you guys will see. But it's great because you get to see each hand with different players and how they play. And it just makes me really excited for the stream. And by the way, the stream is going to be on Venetian Poker Live. It's going to be the last Friday in March. So the stream's going to be on March 28th. So tune in for that. It won't be on this channel, but again, it'll be on Venetian Poker Live. And who we're going up against is 100-200 JRB. No limit. And what I mean by going up against, we need to have good showing numbers because we get to be on stream with this mixed PLO stuff a couple of times. But if the numbers aren't there, then they will just stick to no limit hold'em. So if you guys like watching Pot Limit Omaha and you want to start seeing more Pot Limit Omaha stream stuff, tune in for sure. For the next month or so, I'm going to be doing chalkboard series for tournament style, like deuce to 7 triple draw, Badoogie, tournament style Pot Limit Omaha and how you should play it differently, and things of that nature. Even like how you would play Raz a little bit differently, like in depth. I'll be doing some of those things for the series that's coming up. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. Hitting the like button on the algorithm does a lot. It feeds it into other people's algorithms with anything else that you've liked. So if you could hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. So check out the Etsy store if you haven't already. And then also, don't forget, I published a book called How Not to Get Scooped. And it talks about every split pot game that's out there that I'm aware of. So if you are playing in some of the bracelet events, some of the mixed events, you're not sure what kind of strategies you should take, or for example, if you're playing the first double board bomb pot event, which only has a double board bomb pot 1 out of 8 hands, which doesn't make sense, but that's beside the point. It's 8 chapters. It's $30 on Amazon. It's like 184 pages. I go in depth on double board bomb pots. So even if you're just a player that's going to be playing Potland Omaha and you want to fire at that tournament, you want a little bit more in double board experience, which most PLO players don't mind double board anyways, but I don't know. I'm biased. It's Saturday night. Well, everybody, play smart, enjoy the video, and run like a god. One thing I'm going to say is some people are like, oh, I don't like the Venetian because it's not on the casino floor and you don't get the drunk guy, playing craps, walking in, dropping a few $1,000 chips. Yeah, but you know what you do get? There's all these luxurious shops over here. You get the bored house husband who's like, yeah, honey, go shopping. Tell me what you find. I'm going to go hang out at the poker room. And trust me, these shops are not cheap. So you're getting some affluent people in here, which is the kind of people you like. So let's spin it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. And in this hand, we're in the $20 straddle. The meetup game just started, and we're going to be introduced to one of the players that's going to be on the stream named Jared. He's the gentleman who raises up to $75 over there. We get a call for $75, and when I look down at ace, jack 3 with the suited ace, I like to go ahead and re-raise to 320. Jared, he's not afraid to splash around. He asks me, how much do I have behind? So I'm going to give him a chip count. But just to give you some information on Jared, here's some background on him. Since Jared is the type of player who likes to 3-bet me a lot, we have to start opening up our 4-betting range. And even though aces is a premium hand, we also have to play back at him with sub-premium hands, which you'll see in a different hand. But obviously, hands like these play themselves. And again, when I tell him I've only got 185 behind, Jared elects to re-raise, essentially putting us all in. And we do get one other player who's not all in, but he's in as well. So they do have a little bit of a side pot, but our main pot here is $15.50. Now we're going to take it live because Andy is sitting next to us. Well, three-way. Andy, are you going to bring it in?
I mean, I could go for the Milwaukee's best side pocket cam, if that's what you're saying.
All right, Milwaukee's best side pocket. We have a mystery card.
Or is this a degree all-in moment?
This is a degree all-in moment, as long as we can triple up.
Damn near on stuff. That's me!
Andy, you're not in the hand.
I don't know, I was just quoting the professor.
The professor?
Yeah. You need some chips? You want to raise?
Nice hand.
Oh, I think that's 2 pairs.
Nuts.
What a dick. I knew he was
In all seriousness, Jared is a really good player, and he's one guy that you can splash back and forth with. He's actually owned me quite a few times on the meetup games. So the fact that I was able to beat him in one was a good win for us, but he's going to be a formidable opponent on the stream. Now, this next hand we get involved with is Jared again. I go ahead and open it up a little bit. It's a $10 straddle plus 2. I open it up to $30 with King 10 of spades, 9 of clubs, 6 of diamonds. One of the feedbacks I did get is go in top to down order from one of the viewers, so I'm trying that out in this video. But you can see Jared there goes ahead and pops it up to $100. Now, this is not exactly a great hand to call 3-betting ranges with, but because Jared is the type of player that his 3-betting range is pretty wide open, our 3-betting range has to be just as wide open as his 3-betting range is. And so we splash back at him. So we go ahead and call, and we get another player who calls. So we're going to go 3 ways to the flop. And, whenever you're deciding on a bet, you have to factor in what your stack to pot size ratio is. So the flop comes 3 of diamonds, 10 of clubs, 7 of spades. So we flop top pair with a gut shot with a 2 pair draw. I'm out of position. The pot is $320. I believe I have about 500 in front of me, or 600. So I like to bet $200. I figure that's a pretty strong bet, signifying if somebody wants to raise, we're going to get it all in. I'm going to be pot committed. It gets back to Jared, and he thinks for a little bit, and he's going to end up folding. But after he folds, I tell him that I have a 10. And it was funny. One of the players commented, wow, that's a nice pot for just having a 10. Of course, we have a lot of equity here, so we're never going anywhere. But we end up winning this pot, and these are the types of hands you have to play back against Jared specifically. So the next player that is going to be on the stream is a player by the name of Chris. He's a high-stakes recreational player. He's been on a few streams before. And again, we're in a pot limit Omaha hand where it's, I believe, 4-bet to $100. We like to call when we look down at ace 6, 8, 10 with a suited ace. Now, players like Chris, they're very aggressive players, and you sometimes have to fight aggression with aggression. And sometimes it'll backfire, and sometimes it'll be good. When the flop comes ace 10, 9, complete rainbow, we flop top 2 pair with a gut shot straight draw. Now, when Chris bets $160, he's signifying that he does have a hand like ace 9, ace 10, or a wrap draw. And I have a decision to make. I can either play it safe and just call to see what the turn is, but against players like Chris, in some situations, plus my SPR, I have about 1,500 in front of me. It's one of those things where if I raise to like 400, I am going to be pot committed if he jams, but if I just call 160, I'm left with an SPR of 2 to 1, and I don't like many turns, so I'd rather get my odds in now. With that information of let's get the odds in now, because I can't be in that bad a shape unless he has a set of aces. But even if he's got a set of aces, I have a straight draw, and if he's got a wrap, I have some blockers to his wrap. So in some hands I'm ahead, some hands I'm behind. I like to raise to $420. Now, it folds back to Chris, and Chris looks back at his hand, and he just elects to all in, and I don't blame him there. I go ahead, and of course I'm going to snap call him. In these situations, I run it once now. I used to run it twice, but I just elect to run it once. I figured we have the same range of hands, and when the king comes, I know that favors his range so much. I actually tell him, I say, that favors your range, you're probably going to win this. So now I know I need either an ace, a 10, or a 7 to bail me out. And unfortunately for us, the river's another king, and he turns over ace, 10, king. So in this situation, we were behind, but we like taking our chances like this with Chris, and sometimes we're going to win, sometimes we're going to lose. He's going to be fun on the stream. This next hand here is a pretty impressive one, so stay tuned. We're on the button, and we look down at 8, 9, queen, king with a suited king, queen of clubs. I like to make it $20, and we're going to get 3 callers, so we're going to go 4 ways to the flop. Now, the flop is going to come out pretty good for us. It's going to come out king, queen, deuce, complete rainbow. And when everybody checks to me, I don't see any reason why we should slow play this, so we just decide to bet $50. First player decides to get out of the way, and it gets back to Don, and Don decides to call. Little bit of background on Don is he's an experienced player, doesn't mind splashing around. Occasionally he will try to steal pots, not very often, but he doesn't mind making some bold calls, and he doesn't mind betting out of position when he has strong hands. And it's going to be real interesting in this hand because right now there's no flush draws out there, so I think to myself, what can Don really have? He probably has some kind of wrap draw like ace 10 jack, something to that effect. But what you see that's going to develop in this hand is going to be quite impressive. Just very, very impressive in my opinion. And I don't know, you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think. But when Don decides to call, the turn comes up a deuce. Don clarifies, oh, where's the button? I turn the button over here, and he likes to bet full pot. I'm like, that deuce didn't change anything. Don's not the player that's going to call with a deuce in his hand on that type of flop. I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. So I like to call, and it's $185. I put the exact change out there, and we're still going heads up to the river. And what you're going to see here is impressive. The river's a deuce. So now we effectively have king, queen high. Don reaches for chips, and then he likes to check. once he checks, I figured I don't think I can win with king queen high just in case he has an ace, so I elect to bet pot. And he snap calls me, and when he snap calls me, I'm like, there's no way I'm good. He turns over king queen 4-8, and we end up chopping this pot. But how sick of a call was this in pot limit Omaha to call with king queen high? This is going to be a fun one on the stream. Now this next hand is against Don, and we're in a big O hand in this situation in the big blind. And we're going to go ahead and 4-bet it to $165. We have ace, ace, 3-3 deuce, double suited with ace of hearts, ace of diamonds. This is a very good hand. It's a premium hand because we're blocking a lot of the lows. Obviously, double suited aces. There's only 4 aces in the deck. And we go heads up to the flop with Don. And the flop comes 7-7-5. And I go ahead and just do a continuation bet here. He's not going to have a lot of 7s in his hand, but I want to keep his low draws in there, so I bet 100. He calls. And the turn's my Gen card. It's a 3. Now, I decide to check here and be a little sneaky, because what rivers am I really afraid of? At this point, I think Don might have like an ace-4 low, and if I check and then bet pot, I can get an ace-4 low to call. So when the 6 comes out on the river, I insta-pot it, and Don goes in the tank for a minute, and the pot is $555, and I'm trying to target ace-4x, especially since the 6 came out there. There should be a straight out there. Don decides to call, and I turn over and show him the bad news. We have 3s full and ace-deuce, and he did have ace-4 with a straight, so we targeted his exact hand, and he asked me why I checked the turn, and it was just so I could get a miracle card like that. But sometimes you have to be sneaky against really good players, and Don was just on the short end of this one. But looking forward to having Big O on the stream. Just juice it enough.
Don thought it was only 5.
No, I thought I just heard straddle. I thought.
Oh, no. Oh, it's always 4-bet every hand. Now it's your turn. Couple $100. That's true.
I mean, I can't win it.
So in this specific hand, we're dealing with multiple players, but Jonathan is the one that is also going to be on the stream. And Jonathan, he loves Big O and he loves to gamble. He loves to push in a lot of pots. And he's really good. He's aggressive. He'll bluff in spots, but he elects to raise. Don elects to 4-bet. It gets back to me, and I have ace, jack, 7, deuce, 3. And now ace, deuce, 3 is a good hand to have because we're blocking a lot of low draws that are going to go bust. Ace, jack is pretty good because you got 2 to Broadway. I don't like having 4 hearts here, but there's $140 in the small blind jackpot. And for me right now, it's $140 to go. Everybody's effective stack that's involved in the hand is around $1,000. So the challenge that we run into here is if we call, we do risk that we just might have to call off 1,000 pre-flop. But we like to call for $140, and it gets back to Jonathan, and he just announces he's all in. And now it's going to get back to Don. And Don is going in the tank, rightfully so. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to call it off here, especially if Don calls it. I actually want Don to call because in this situation, we're going to have a 3-way all-in pre-flop. We do have one player who has a shorter stack of like $180 or $280, but Don says, oh, what the hell, let's go ahead and gamble. I go ahead and announce I'm going to call, and then I'm just, right after I say that, I say, Don, I just want to make sure, do you have 900 or do you have 1,700 behind? He's got about 900. Jonathan has like 800 or so. So here we go. We're going to go 4 ways to a flop. We do have one short stack, and this is going to be great because on the stream, you're going to see some players like this, because here we have some of the players that are going to be on the stream. And off to the flop we come, 10-10 king. This does not favor my hand at all. I'm telling I need a queen. The turn comes out a 4 of diamonds. Boy, we need a miracle. River's a king. Now, we obviously lose this. I believe Don had queens, and I can't remember if Jonathan had queens as well or if he had ace-king. But this is the type of action that you're going to see on the live stream that's going to be on March 28th. I mean, here we were four-handed on the live stream. It's a 7 max table, so we're going to be seven-handed deep with a 10-10 game. So this is going to be some real exciting stuff. So those were some really interesting hands there. I hope you guys are excited as much as I am. Wayne and I have a little thing that we're gonna do for the stream. We were in Vegas in December talking with a good friend of ours who has got a ton of experience. Danny, I believe, is his name, and he came up to me while we were on break in one of the, I believe, draw games or PLO games, and he goes, "Hey, where's Robin?" And I said, "Robin, you mean Wayne?" And he says, "No, Robin." He's like, "You guys are always like Batman and Robin. Where there's one of you, there's the other." So Wayne and I started thinking. So we've got something in the stream in the works for you guys. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also excited about the players that we're gonna have. So it'll be a fun stream. Definitely tune into it, and I hope you guys like the new format. I will be doing more in depth stuff, but with the Venetian, we do have to put out a video within a timely manner. So about 1 week is what we're committed to. And this is reasonable, and you know what, I personally like the format and I'm excited about it. But I'll put out part two where because after that last hand, I think we're already stuck $3,000, and we end up being in this game for a total of $6,000. Yeah, it was just a combination of a lot of different things. So, but yeah, stay tuned because that'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks, as well as my chalkboard videos. So, play smart, everybody, and run like a god. As always, guys, if you do want to play with me both live or online, go ahead and feel free to message me on WhatsApp. So, appreciate all of you.